What's happening, good people? What's happening? Once again, it's your player partner here. King Kang here on WPIMP Radio, and we talking right quick about this doggone coronavirus, which we ain't gonna never get through talking about this thing, allegedly, or it seems like at this point. For you out there that don't know, cases have been on the rise once again, especially in your major cities of populations of 1 million or better. They are rising by astronomical numbers. And we are once again faced with, I'm guessing this is the second wave, talking about or playing around with another lockdown. Now, for you out there that have been hidden under a rock, the coronavirus is one of the reasons that a lot of companies have honestly went under at this point. Now, you know me as being a small business owner myself, I will say this one thing. If your company has went under, I'm speaking for major companies, I say it that way, not small business, major companies. If your company or you lost some locations, you went under because of the coronavirus, basically had you shutting down for about because I don't think nobody shut down longer than a 3-week period. You was pretty much on your way out of business anyway. Let's be real. I mean, if you went into trouble that fast, I believe you're going to go out of business whether the coronavirus happened or not. I don't know. That's just me. Now, it seems like everything is starting all over again just like it did when it first started. You got employees out here ready to strike and people feeling upset about there are no real stipulations or guidelines in place for if somebody catches the COVID at your workplace. Now, at this point, everybody should have stipulations and guidelines. I don't think it's the question of them sticking to it more than it is the question of are they actually doing it, or not so much of the question of do they have it. I think a lot of people just not doing it, or a lot of companies are just not doing it. For the people out there that's walking around, in public, thinking that wearing a mask is a political statement, we're going to throw a lot of that fault on y'all. Why? Because y'all are some dumbasses. There have been countless studies done, and now the CDC is trying to change, saying where they not sure. I ain't going to say they're not sure. They want to retract the fact that they're saying that the mask has kept you from spreading it. Now they're trying to say the mask is probably keeping you from catching it, which to me, I was thinking to myself, that's kind of a common sense thing. You really don't want to go against science, but I'm like, dude, that's no different than, anything that you can breathe. If we're in somewhere and it's smoky as hell and we're in a fire and I have a mask on, I'm going to live longer than your ass without your mask. I'm like, to me, that's kind of a common sense type of thing, but that's neither here nor there. Some people kind of have that brain span to go, you know what, that don't really make no sense. And some people don't. But it does look like we're on our way back to a lockdown. And now that this presidential election is over, this next president might actually make it if it's in time. I'm like, by the time he becomes president, hell, it might be too late to be talking about we're going to lock down the whole country. That's not going to really be something that can happen right this second. Because y'all forget old Agent Orange is still in power and still in effect. So that's not going to be something that happens right this second. I don't see it happening. So for you out there thinking that that's going to be the quick solution to pull us up out of it, yeah, that's not going to happen. Because there's no way in the world after he has lost this election that he's going to go back, revert, and be like, on second thought, let's go ahead and shut everything down. So that's not gonna happen. Let's just be real and let that one go, because it's not gonna happen. Because that would take him admitting fault that he was wrong in the first place. So yeah. So by the time Biden actually become president and can actually do something, hell, that second wave probably gonna be over with. You want to be honest about it. I mean, at the rate we going. And as much as or as fast that they're spiking at this point. Now, for people out there that's already, unemployment is already at an astronomical number. Honestly, at this point, my opinion of it is man, if y'all really want to get this thing under control, you have a template, or what I like to call a cheat sheet, to go by. Other countries that have shut down, they actually shut down before, like, China and parts of England and whatnot. They back reopen like they normally supposed to be. I mean, don't get me wrong, you're going to have some things go wrong, business go under, but for anybody that ever had a business or ever been in business knows that, hell, that's just business. Can't take that personal. You can't think that just because you went out of business is the end of the world, because businesses are just not meant to be, because once again, I'm going back to this once again, because I know a couple of companies, as I am a business consultant, a few companies that got in trouble pretty quickly there. And to be quite honest, from what I've seen, those companies was already in trouble before the COVID started anyway. The COVID just finished them on off. But speaking on small businesses out here, small businesses, some people gonna need some help, y'all. If it's cool to shut down the country and everything, but y'all gonna have to sending stimulus checks to companies, and you sending stimulus checks. I'm sorry, not the companies, to people, and to help the people out, but you're not so much as the companies. The money that you send it to the companies is a loan, so still got to pay that back. You're trying to get blood from a turnip, want to pay it back. Now, my thing is this. During the recession, you spent a lot of money to help out corporate America there and bail them out, but you don't want to bail out your small businesses. Now, to me, that's kind of a oxymoron there a little bit, for the simple fact that it's the small businesses that's paying more taxes in a lot of cases than the large businesses are. I mean, they employ people, true enough, but your actual tax base, guarantee you, is coming from people with probably like 500 employees or less. In most cases, especially in most cities. This second lockdown, honestly, going to be a beast. I mean, the reason that it got out of control in the first place, we in the situation we in, because we didn't do it the first time. You should have just did it the first time and got it over with. It's like pulling a Band-Aid out. Just jerk that summage off and say, fuck it. You know what I mean? Instead of doing all these little half-ass lockdowns, and nobody's actually making sure that people or companies or businesses are doing the right thing. They're not actually having any kind of disciplinary action going on or anything. They're just pretty much letting people do what they want. Now, I understand that it's America. You understand? And here's the thing. You want your freedom, but I mean, if your freedom gonna hurt the whole goddamn country, or economically, or actually in health-wise, damn, somebody has to make a decision and say, hey, this is how we're gonna have to do it now. I mean, it is what it is at this point, because it's companies that's going out that already went out of business. It is what it is. And just to be truthful with you, it's a lot of small businesses, they made it through that first little wave of shutdown. They ain't making it through no second. They're not making it through no second. And it's a reason. I be trying to be understanding of people's plight, but I'm like, it's a reason that restaurants are one of the most riskiest businesses that you could possibly be in, because all your money and everything you do is dependent on basically if the economy doing good or not. Because if the economy not doing good, that's not the kind of thing. People don't spend their money on extracurricular type stuff. They just don't. So you're in a risky business to begin with. You know what I mean? Like, there was a restaurant that's not too far from my house that I know didn't make it a full year. I mean, but to be honest, like I said, they was in trouble before the COVID happened. Just, business model and their setup. And they didn't think about the competition when they opened the doors. The food wasn't all that great. So it's a number of reasons why they went under. It wasn't just because of COVID, but I guarantee you they're on the list of companies that went down due to the COVID. Just because it went down during the COVID time don't mean that it went out of business because of the COVID. You understand me? Like, it's a business right now that I'm consulting that, dude, it was like, I think the COVID really kicked off when they started shutting stuff down, like April. Dude, they was in trouble in December. Dude, to be honest, their books was looking weak, and just a lot of stuff that was messing them up, and it just got worse because of the COVID. I believe we are definitely on the way to a lockdown, people. All I can tell you is prepare yourself, get your mind right about it. They need to bring back the whole unemployment kick with the extra money that they gave in unemployment, of course you want to help people, but it depends on the area. Because some areas actually, or cities or states, they actually do have a good unemployment program in place where they are probably getting 80%, a percentage of what they make anyway. If it's a city, to me, it's just me. If it's a city or a state that's getting like 80% of what they making anyway, I don't feel like you supposed to be giving them. I think it should be depending on what the unemployment payment is of what you get. To a reasonable amount of money, because everybody need that $600 or whatever it was, $1,200, whatever it was. Because I didn't need it. You better believe I spent it though, goddamn it. But I didn't need it. You understand me? Because Lord knows, as much as I pay in taxes from the businesses and whatnot I got, I take any kickback I can possibly get. But do I actually need it though? No, I did not. I think it should be for the people the cities and states that unemployment is really low. Like here, I think the unemployment a week ain't but $290. Everybody know that's not enough to live and do a goddamn thing. I think that you just got to figure out what the number going to be. For instance, if the unemployment rate is like around $500 for that person, you probably can leave them alone. They'll be all right. I'm just, they will be all right. Y'all got to get out there and get on your hustle. I don't want to tell nobody how to do their business, but I've been there. You understand me? I worked my way up from the bottom to where I am now. And, a lot of times it was hustle. You know what I'm saying? Everybody know how to do little stuff under the table. You understand? Find your little something on the side that pay cash. A little something that, little something that you can go up in there and do some real quick work. Like for you that don't know what I'm talking about, a lot of construction companies do that, by the way. Don't tell nobody you heard that from me. But pretty much a lot of construction companies, anything doing with building something or dirt work, trucking, anything, something like that, or janitorial work, for example, that will pay you cash or pay you by the job, kind of like you're a contractor, where it won't affect you getting your unemployment. There's a little hustle involved, you know what I'm saying? You just got to figure out what the hustle is. But I feel like you should get everybody up to a certain amount of money that's unemployed to be able to, pay their bills and take care of their shit. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm like, it also depend on how long the lockdown lasts. Like a lot of people thinking that I guess the lockdown gonna last forever, but I'm thinking 2 weeks, maybe, tops. To actually see it go down in a downward spiral, you should be able to see a turnaround within a 2-week period. They're not talking about forever. And my whole thing was when they didn't do it in the first place. I'm like, goddamn, y'all company can't shut down for 2 weeks and survive. Y'all doing some bad goddamn business. That's all I'm saying. If you can't shut down for 2 weeks and still be okay, Jesus, what kind of business is y'all running? You need to shut your business down anyway if you can't shut down for 2 weeks and actually survive. That means you living check to check. That means you living like broke people out here. You understand? With a whole business. You understand? Or having a business might not be for you if you can't shut down for 2 goddamn weeks and be okay. But at the same time, I feel like you basically paying the government like Big Brother to help you and take care of you. That's the whole reason you kick up. Because all this shit ain't nothing but gangster shit to me. It's just like we kicking up to the boss. You know what I'm saying? So the whole thing you doing that for is the police and come help in time of goddamn trouble. So, hey, it's trouble. Y'all need to come goddamn help. I don't think like the couple of, you know what, talk about this right quick. The couple of schools that I hear that were open or that I've seen that were open, they have decided to shut their doors now, which you probably shouldn't have had them open in the first place because you getting in this second wave and there's too many people getting it. I mean, you can see it in everything at this point, even in the NFL. I would be amazed if they actually finish the season, but they have expanded the playoffs to include, where they talking about making it include more teams. And the only reason I think they talking about doing that because they think about ending the season before it's time to end, before that 16 game, before it's supposed to, which they should have figured out how to do a shorter season anyway, like NBA did. Because there's so many people in the NFL, every time you turn around, somebody new catching it or they on the COVID list for being in contact with somebody with it. It's just, at this point, it's become a way of life, but you got to do something to deter it because here's the deal. Companies going to suffer anyway, Because if you're in an area where it got some big ass outbreaks at, I don't know about y'all, but I ain't going to spend money